The war between Israel and Hamas terror threatens to drag the entire Arab world into this conflict. The battle lines are very clearly drawn, and to ensure other Arab countries do not get involved, the United States has brought in the largest aircraft carrier strike group, the USS Gerald Ford, in the Mediterranean Sea. A very clear message has been sent out, not naming Lebanon or Iran, but countries in the region not to get involved in Israel's war to punish the perpetrators of the worst terror attack on Israel's soil and perhaps the worst attack on Jews after Holocaust. We bring you this report about how the world is very clearly split between those who support Israel and those who stand with terror.
There's a war raging in Israel between Hamas and the Israel Defense Forces. And like in all wars, there are others. Some neighbors, some allies who play key roles. And some who try to act as mediators in this war, which has a potential of turning into a much larger conflict that can engulf the entire world. Israel, by the Mediterranean Sea, is surrounded by Arab League countries. They are at war with Hamas, the militant Palestine Islamist group. Of the 22 Arab League countries, Lebanon's Hezbollah and Syria have already trained their guns at Israel as it started airstrikes on Palestinian ghetto of Gaza. In fact, within hours of Hamas' attack on Israel on 7th October, Hezbollah supporters gathered at the Israel border. Another key player in the Arab League, the United Arab Emirates, has warned the Assad regime in Syria not to intervene in the Hamas-Israel war or to allow attacks on Israel from Syrian soil. But Syria has already defied the diktat. Israel's immediate neighbors, Egypt and Jordan, haven't yet joined the war, but have strong words of condemnation for Israel. Jordan suggests a two-nation theory solution as proposed in the 1967 Accord, but doesn't hesitate to threaten to stand by Palestinians against Israel.
وسيظل موقف الأردن ثابتا.
Jordan's stance will remain steadfast, and we will not stray away from our role despite challenges in defending sacred Islamic and Christian venues in Jerusalem and protecting them under Hashemite custodianship.
Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi called the escalation in Gaza highly dangerous, and that Egypt was pushing with regional and international partners for a negotiated solution to the violence. In the last few days, people from Gaza have gathered at Rafah border, which is the only crossing point into Egypt's Sinai. The rest of the Gaza Strip is surrounded by Israel and the sea. A key player in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, has been in talks with Israel about normalizing relations, as it also walked a fine line. It called for an immediate end to the violence, but did not explicitly denounce Hamas. An agreement with Israel was in the process while Hamas launched its attack. That deal is now in deep freeze.
One of the reasons it carried out its attack now is because of the prospect of normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia. And over the past few weeks, even months, Hamas officials have been quite open about the fact that this would be a huge event.
The other key Arab League member, Qatar, has offered to mediate while playing host to Hamas leaders, including its chairman, Ismail Haniyeh. And then there are the other non-Arab Islamist countries who are playing key roles, like Turkey.
İsrail topraklarındaki sivillerin
We openly oppose the killing of civilians on Israeli soil. Likewise, we never accept the massacring of innocent people in Gaza through constant indiscriminate bombing. Cutting off a city's water, electricity, entry and exits, collapsing its infrastructure, destroying all of its centers of worship from mosques to churches, as well as their schools, preventing people from getting the most fundamental needs, and bombing housing units where civilians reside.
yaşadığı binaları
In other words, managing a conflict using every sort of embarrassing method is not a war. It's a massacre.
yürütülen bir çatışma.
Turkey has backed Palestinians in the past and hosted members of Hamas. It has been working to mend its ties with Israel after years of animosity. Unlike the European Union and United States, Ankara does not consider Hamas a terrorist organization. And then there are the non-Arab states like Iran, who have been speaking up for Hamas from day one, but don't enjoy good relations with Saudi Arabia and some of the other Arab nations. As the war rages on, it surely widens the fissures between the Arab countries and has the possibility of bringing in more Islamist states in its purview, leading to greater destabilization of the region.